where I sit?
Thank you.
It's all discombobulated. It's been a while.
See my notes. Oh, hello. There we go. We are back. DCGTV
In the
episode.
house.
Oh God, I don't even remember.
Oh, we're on 17, by the way.
17.
Is it 17 or 16?
God, I don't remember.
Maybe it's 16.
Lose track in the teens. It's like having a teenager. You don't remember what age. You're just a teen.
Just a teen.
Just a teen.
Yeah.
Welcome to the teenage years of Dunce Games TV.
The big show.
Big show. And we have a fun one in store for you all
They're
this
always
evening.
fun, by the way.
Indeed, we're matching.
We are matching. That's
pretty
we
exciting.
didn't coordinate that either.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
I know, I just wish I was wearing blue jeans, but
Yeah, well,
I gave them up during the pandemic.
Did you?
I did.
What, do they attract the COVID or something?
No, I just going for like the human mullet where it's like business on top, party down below. You know, pajama pants.
You said the human mullet.
Yes.
Is there any other kind of mullet than the human mullet?
Well, a full body mullet.
Okay,
is what I
full
think
body
I meant
mullet.
to say. But no, we got fun. We got fun for you. We got Philosopher's Corner.
Okay.
We got just a welcome back, like a recap. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been over. It's been about, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Something like that. Kyle took an amazing trip, which he'll share with us.
Mm-hmm. Little midwinter break vacation
Yeah.
down south.
Nice.
Yes. And we have our very first interview.
Yes, we did an interview just tonight.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Fellow game creator,
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Pender.
Very cool guy.
Indeed, down in Eugene, and we'll share our conversation with him and the game that he's created.
Yeah, which is very fun. We've played the
Yes,
hell out of it in a
indeed.
very short time. So.
Yes, so kindred spirit, fellow game designer. And you know, I think with that, we can talk some Philosopher's Corner. So,
Yeah.
tonight,
What have we got on?
ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at poker and philosophy.
Oh.
So this is a little Philosopher's Corner and poker mixed up together for you.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy it.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
If life is a game, I think it has got to be poker. Life, like poker, involves playing the hand you were dealt in the best way possible, both in the macro and the micro decisions of life. We are always making a call based on incomplete information, or a fold, or a raise for that matter. We are making these decisions with the variables of the cards and what we know of the people that hold them. Like poker, as in life, you can make the perfect decision, the perfect play, and still lose. You can also fuck it up, make a mess, and still somehow win. In poker, as long as you play a sound game and minimize your own mistakes, you'll come out ahead in the end. Play the right odds and the math is on your side. And that is where the decisions we make in life are an even much higher gamble. Annie Duke, who's a professional poker player and philosopher, I would say, wrote a book called Thinking in Bets, Making Smarter Decisions When You Don't Have All the Facts. In this book, she mentions our hometown heroes, the Seattle Seahawks, and the infamous call made by Pete Carroll in the 2015 Super Bowl. After that call, despite a few voices supporting the decision, headlines included worst play call in Super Bowl history, and what was Seattle thinking? Worst play call in NFL history. Dumbest call in Super Bowl history. Could be the beginning of the end for the Seattle Seahawks. This, despite that passes from the 1-yard line are only intercepted 2% of the time. Annie Duke writes that Carroll got unlucky. He made a good quality decision that got a bad result. Pete Carroll was the victim of our tendency to equate the quality of a decision with the quality of its outcome. Go Hawks. Go Pete Carroll. In poker, you quickly learn, I hope, that you need to be aware of when you lose for the right reasons and win for the wrong ones. Being able to recognize both sides of that coin gives you the ability to level up your decision making. Not being aware is a handicap. Another interesting aspect of poker consists of maintaining your cool under pressure. A lot of money is won from players who go on tilt. This means if you suffer a bad beat or have some sort of emotional upheaval, you then tend to start making impulsive and bad decisions, which happens to us all. The skill is in learning to recognize and control such reactions and behavior, to the best extent you can. It isn't easy, and sometimes just admitting to yourself that you don't make your best decisions in your worst frames of mind can be a huge step. Try Duke's exercise for yourself. What was your worst decision of 2020? What was your best decision of 2020? Annie Duke is a World Series champion of poker and has a PhD. What do you think it's in?
Oh, hello.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show.
So you had to bring up 2015.
I know.
Seahawks second Super Bowl in a row.
Yeah. Well, Annie Duke was defending Pete. She was saying he's getting heat he doesn't deserve. Because it's not that he made a bad decision, it's that he got unlucky. And the moral of the story is, if you make the right decision for the right reasons and lose, you're still doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people make the wrong decisions and win.
Yeah, I mean, that interception doesn't happen, you know, what's his face, I can't think of his name, Jermaine Kearse gets the block on that, cornerback. They catch the ball, they win the game, and man, you know,
best coach in history.
Best coach in history. Right. Now it's your second guest on everything.
Yes.
So.
The end of the Seahawks.
Anyway.
Hey, well, we screwed up.
What did we do?
We forgot to get glasses for our drink tonight.
Oh, damn.
So maybe we should do a little movie magic.
Yeah.
We'll just... Boom!
Oh, look at that.
Ah! Movie magic.
It helps.
It is. It's, wish I could do that in real life. So before we get into the news, tonight, Charles and ladies and gentlemen...
What are we enjoying this evening?
We are enjoying some Wilderness Trail Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled in bond, whatever that means. You know what that means?
Bottled in bond. I don't.
Give the people a good look. Check it out. There's the whiskey. I'll read you this snippet. Made from locally sourced grains from an old traditional mash bill of 64% corn, 24% rye, and 12% malted barley. Copper pot distilled from a single fermented batch using our sweet mash process and put in the barrel at 110 proof. Bottled in bond. I don't know what that means.
Bottled in bond. We'll have to look that up. Google it for us.
They're in Danville, Kentucky. Danville, Kentucky. So let's take into the news. It's wait. Today's February 25th, 2021.
Yes, that sounds right.
We're living under the Biden administration on what's hopefully the tail end of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, I think he has reached. He had a goal for coronavirus vaccinations by his first 100 days, and I don't remember how many millions that was, but he's hit half the number as of today.
Oh,
so
that's fast.
Yeah. So what's he been in office? About a month and a week or something?
January 20th, right? He took office?
So a little under a month and a week.
All right, Kentucky.
It's kind of light.
You're known for your bourbon.
It's got a little yellow gold to it.
It does. It's nice.
I like that.
Little shwill for the people.
It smells like whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Bourbon. We do a lot of bourbon.
We do a lot of bourbon. It's okay. We should try a rye.
I'm going in. We should.
Down the hatch.
Well, It's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's got a very clingy back of the roof of my mouth. It's clinging pretty good.
It's good. I'm not getting a ton of flavor from it. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
It tastes like whiskey. My belly's warm.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. But compared...
Got the fire down below.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a cheap whiskey because those make your nostril hairs burn. But it's good. But it's not special. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, do you know where this came from?
Kentucky?
Yes. More immediately, though.
Okay.
So I made a decision.
That's better.
That's fun. I made a decision to get a Costco membership.
Yes.
And I've only made 2 Costco trips since I made that decision. But on this last one, they have a pretty good liquor selection at Costco.
They do.
And like they had a lot of good whiskeys. And I was like, oh. And most of them I'd never heard of before.
Right.
And so I picked this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it was a decent choice. I mean, it's not something I'd probably come back to, but...
No, but yeah, it was all right.
But it's nice.
Yeah, not a bad whiskey.
And it's a nice looking bottle.
Indeed. Very rectangular. Yes. Well, let's see. I have some fun news.
Yeah,
So,
hook us up, dude.
whoa. Maybe it's not fun, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, eh?
Yes.
Oh, I know it. Remember? It's the cord.
It's the cord.
Boom. And did you know that President Barack Obama just released a podcast?
With
Yes.
Bruce?
With Bruce Springsteen.
With the boss?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I haven't listened
With
to
the
it.
boss. I listened to it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's only 2 episodes, so it's not like it's going to be a continuous thing.
Okay.
But apparently Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen are good friends. And they
Right.
met on the 2008 campaign trail.
Yeah.
And they talk about their differences growing up and race in America and politics in America. Like It felt like a really candid, cool conversation. It was fun.
That was a conversation where Barack admitted to bloodying the nose of a classmate, right?
Yeah, that called him a coon.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I heard it was a racial epithet.
Called him a coon. And it was like a really good friend of his, not even a classmate, like one of his best friends.
Right.
Was like really mad at him and like called him a coon, and then Barack just like,
Take that.
he's like, why'd you do that?
Nice.
Yeah. And he's also getting some heat because he mentioned that he supports reparations on that conversation. And now I've seen some of the right-wing media being like, Barack believes that all black people should get reparations. And that's not what he said. He said he believes reparations are due, but we need to be very careful and nuanced in how we approach that subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. I'd recommend it.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Indeed.
I read a funny story. Are you a fan of the Hannibal Lecter series, kind of the Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon and all that?
I've seen them all, and I really enjoyed them, but I've only seen them once.
Okay, I'm a moderate fan too. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw an article where in Silence of the Lambs there was Buffalo Bill. He was the bad guy that Clarice was using Hannibal Lecter to find.
Yeah.
The moth guy, right? Mm-hmm. Well, apparently you can rent a room in Buffalo Bill's actual house, the filming location. It's become a bed and breakfast in a little town. I think it's called Perryopolis, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's kind of southeast of Pittsburgh. And you can hang out there, movie location, and do all this stuff. Sadly, though, it didn't have the well.
Oh.
That would have been so awesome.
Somebody should put that in.
Oh, man. I would totally start digging if I owned that place. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have the well, right?
Yeah.
But the basement looks a little dark and creepy, but no well that I saw.
Oh, there's so many sadists out there that are just leaping at the opportunity to go stay at Buffalo Bills.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I just remember the scene with the tuck scene and he's doing the dance. Oh, Bill.
My mind always goes to the Joe Dirt movie. The scene, I don't know why, but there's the scene where he's like in like the Buffalo Bill-esque house and he gets put in the little hole and it's like he puts the lotion on the skin and like makes him put lotion. No? Anyway, Joe Dirt's a classic too.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
My goodness.
Speaking of mullets.
Yeah, speaking of mullets, man.
Yeah.
Other podcast news.
Okay.
Elon Musk went back on Joe Rogan, and I listened to that as well.
Okay.
Earlier, Elon had gone on Joe Rogan, and Joe convinced him to smoke a joint. Oh. And this was like a year and a half ago, but it tanked Tesla stock for a few days, and like Elon got all this heat.
People got pissed that he smoked a joint.
Yeah, because he's a big business leader, and he shouldn't be a pothead, and they got really mad at him. But he went back, and he didn't smoke a joint this time. But they talked a lot about Tesla and SpaceX and all that jazz. And
Right.
they ended with talk of electric airplanes.
Yeah.
Apparently that's been a passion of Mr. Musk for a while.
Okay.
But the challenge is getting up. Once you're up, it's easy to go fast. But
Yeah.
getting
Like
up...
a glider, right? I mean,
Yeah.
once you're up, you kind of hit the,
Yeah.
the jet stream. And
Exactly.
gone.
But the trick is to get up fast, and that takes a lot of energy, so it's tough.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
I think they should just hook the plane to a bunch of Canadian geese.
dude, that's a good idea.
And then they get up, train Canadian geese.
Well, and talk about eco power.
Give me a call, Elon.
Yeah.
I only need a cool million to
Yeah.
get this thing off the ground.
You'd have to travel north to get on one of those airplanes, but it would make no carbon footprint.
No carbon.
Except the geese would be going a little slower.
Geese crap everywhere, but
Yeah.
we get that anywhere around
What are you
here.
going to do?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of space,
Okay.
my next piece of news comes actually from Mike Pence, and this happened right before the end of the Trump administration.
Okay.
So, you know that they made the Space Force.
Yes.
And you know how in the Army you have soldiers,
Right.
and in the Navy you have sailors.
Right.
They decided what they're going to call members of the Space Force.
Oh.
Do you know this?
Cadets.
Guardians.
Space Guardians.
Space Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
So this is legit. The Space Force, if you're in the Space Force, I hope you are now a Guardian.
Yeah.
A Space Guardian.
That was such a ploy, dude. I don't,
Yeah.
Air Force was fine.
Right? We'll see if it sticks. You think Biden's going to shut down Space Force?
If it costs extra money, then why keep it? That's my point. I'm fine. Space Force, great. I wish it was the Federation, or something like that. Star Trek. But if it costs millions or billions of dollars a year to have these extra flags and different uniforms, that's not what my taxpayer dollars.
How many bridges could you build? How many people could you
infrastructure projects could you do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, well...
What are you going to do? But speaking of politics, have you seen what's happening with Ted Cruz in the last couple of
I
days?
saw a headline that he ran away to Cancun during the Texas storm.
He got so busted, dude. He was trying to sneak out of town. He lost power like millions of other Texans. His house was freezing. Sorry, technical difficulties. His house was freezing, so he took his daughters and his wife to Cancun, and then got busted for it. Right? Got stalked out at the airport. Flew down there. Ended up coming back because there was so much heat about him. No pun intended. Going to Cancun and leaving behind his entire constituencies. Right? So he came back right away, and he was stalked there. And then that weekend, he went and handed out, water at the water, line.
After he got busted.
To, make that photo op.
So he couldn't hide on his
Meanwhile, AOC, who everybody complains about, raised something like $4 million for Texas food banks, and flew down there on her own to volunteer at water drop spots and food banks. And this guy's running off to Cancun.
Jeez.
It's just ridiculous, but...
I did hear some things about AOC that upset me a little bit, though.
Okay.
And it could be wrong. I read all sorts of weird news sources, and some of them are right-wing, but there was a complaint leveled that she was in a different building during the Capitol Hill riots, and then was kind of claiming this trauma from her experience. And
yeah, I saw that too.
Saw that?
I think it boiled down to the person that was complaining about her was in the room next to hers. It was another Republican rep. But in her defense, they were on lockdown. They didn't know what was going on. There was police and state troopers and everything running, FBI running around, yelling at them to stay put.
Well, in that moment,
so it's a traumatic experience.
How do you know that they're not in your building, but they're in the building next door?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
If she had gone out and confronted them, they still wouldn't have been happy. So.
Well, I got a couple pieces of funny news to throw at you. Animal related.
Okay.
Per Kyle style.
Kyle loves his animals.
You may have seen this on the headlines. It made a few mainstream news sources, but a Tennessee man who died last year willed his dog $5 million.
How do I get adopted to be his dog?
Right? It's an 8-year-old border collie named Luna. And a trust was set up for one of his friends to take care of her and cover all of her expenses. And the friend was interviewed and said, I don't know how I'm going to spend all this money, but I'm going to try. So this dog Luna, I was thinking maybe we should put her in the next compatibility deck.
So
it's like some rich
So
dog.
the friend is supposed to spend the $5 million on the dog.
Well, it covers the friend's expenses as well.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
I would
but
take
it's
that dog.
it's like 4 taking care of this 8-year-old border collie. Maybe 4 or 5 years left tops.
Right.
So could you spend $1 million a year on a dog?
No. Me and that dog would be prime rib,
Every
breakfast,
night.
lunch,
Yeah.
dinner,
Yeah.
lobster.
Oh man.
No.
So Luna might be in the next compatibility deck for y'all out there.
We should, and then have it be some kind of
She's just rich.
super rich dog
Yeah.
that's not worth anything because she doesn't get along with anybody, right?
Yeah. She's just rich and spoiled.
Spoiled.
Judgmental.
I can only be with one bird.
Yeah.
Something like that. Nice.
That would be good.
Yeah, I would like that.
All right, last one is this is in Alaska. All right, so an Alaskan woman was attacked by a bear in an outhouse.
Oh,
Not surprising. Well, maybe a little surprising.
well, she was surprised, I'm sure.
Yeah. You want to hear the extra bit?
Okay.
It was from below.
It was from what? Oh, coming up from the bottom?
Coming up
Oh my
from the
God,
bottom.
that's the work of nightmares.
She was
man.
attacked from below.
That is the work of nightmares.
Her and her boyfriend were out some remote place, like camping or something, and she went out to use the outhouse, and a bear bit her in the ass from inside the outhouse.
What the hell was the bear doing in there?
I don't know. They ran out. Her boyfriend ran out, and she ran out bleeding. And they looked down and they saw the bear in the shitter and left. And then they went back the next day and it was gone. But she didn't. She needed a few stitches, but she's okay.
Wow.
Yes. So
It was a bear, not like a raccoon or
Yeah.
a rat. It was a friggin' bear
yeah,
hanging out in the privy.
in the privy, in the actual poop hole. This is a weird bear with some weird fetishes.
Only in Alaska, people.
Yeah. But that's all I got for the weird
All right.
news.
Well, we need to take a break anyway.
We do.
And we'll come back. We'll talk maybe about your trip a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
We'll just let it go. All right. Well, those were
Digging the hi-hat.
Those were a few picks from the trip.
Yeah, it looked fun, man.
Yeah, we hit Arches, and we stayed in Sedona, and Grand Canyon, and Bryce Canyon, and we saw Pando. You know what Pando is?
I don't.
Pando is one of the oldest, largest organisms on Earth.
Okay.
And it's an aspen forest in Utah. And it's genetically identical aspen trees because they're all growing from the same root system. And it's estimated to be like 4,000 years old, and it's all the same living organism.
Oh,
But
okay.
it just looks like a big aspen forest, but it's
Wow.
special.
But it's all one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was fun. And we did 50 hours in the car. Me and my girlfriend, her daughter, and my 2 daughters.
And you don't, I mean, you're not talking gigantic car.
No, well, it's a double, or a truck with 4 doors.
Yeah.
But it's not a minivan.
It's not a minivan.
No. And everybody
Not
did
the old
great.
family roadster.
No. But we rocked it, and it
Nice.
was good. So
Good on you. Well, you missed Valentines.
I did.
We didn't get to exchange Valentines. I did get to show something.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting anything,
All right.
but I did get to show something. I think you might enjoy this.
What?
So pop this open. This is for the show.
A gift for the show. Now we need to untie the bow. You notice how I rhyme?
Rip it open. I don't think you're ever going to get that.
Oh! A St. Doc Holiday candle?
It's a prayer candle.
Oh my god!
That we totally. So if you don't know us, we're both huge fans of the movie Tombstone.
I'm your Huckleberry.
And of Westerns in general.
Oh my
the
goodness.
Western genre.
Hold on, I got it.
Yeah, I don't think it has much of a smell.
It doesn't.
But
That's
I think
okay.
we need to pray to the Saint Doc Holiday every show and light the candles.
I am so for that. I am so for that.
Right on, right on.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, I am a little taken back.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't get you anything for Valentine's.
That's all right. This was not for you, it's for the show. But,
Okay, good. I feel better. But that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, almost. That is so amazing. Whoever came up with this deserves a raise. It's so good.
Yeah, I saw it on social media. There's a company that sells them. And then I thought, well, I could just make that myself. And so I did.
You made that yourself?
Well, ordered the candle and attached fixed the dock on there.
Dude, so good.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Maybe when we have our whiskey, that's when we could light the candle and say a prayer for Doc.
There you go.
Because Doc liked his booze.
He did. He certainly did.
He did.
He certainly did.
Nice. He did. Yeah. Fun. Cool. Well, we have a few company things too that are kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you had done some really awesome work on the website and the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so we've done some upgrades to the website, so check it out. Some fixes. We hadn't been on there we haven't done any changes or updates for about a year, so we felt it was about time to do it. And then go to our YouTube page.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably there already.
But actually check it out.
But check it out. Yeah, we got some links to some of our other websites, and we've got some more about us and what the show's for, and all that good stuff.
Well, I love what you did as far as, and I still have some work to do, but breaking the content pieces out. So you have like the cooking section and the Philosopher's Corner section and the gameplay.
Still got to do some additions to that.
But that's happening. Like there'll be you can go look through all the amazing dishes that Charles has shared with us. And you can go look through the weird little
philosophies.
that
you cook up.
I don't know if they're amazing, but they're something. And then we got our game playthroughs, which is light now, but that's going to increase quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's much sharper looking.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying this to you, but the compatibility next deck is moving forward.
Yeah. Actually, I've seen some action moving on that. So that is awesome.
It's happening. We're connecting with the artist and getting that rolling, so there'll be some expansion packs.
Some new pets, and maybe even some different pets. So before we just had dogs, cats, birds, turtles, and some hybrid, even a unicorn. But this time we might actually spice it up a little bit and have some other things in there.
Yeah, maybe some other rodent-type pets. We'll leave the rest a surprise. And who knows what else? Heck, who knows what else? Maybe we'll throw this bear that likes to hang out in outhouses in the compatibility deck. You never know.
We're not sure what he gets along with. So that might be a hard one.
Yeah, worth 1,000 points.
Yeah.
If you get him and a bunch of turtles, you win.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's good. And speaking of games, it was really cool to chat with another game designer tonight.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier in the show.
Chris Pender.
Yeah. Came up with a little game. We've got a copy right here.
And this is actually was released about 20 years ago?
Yeah, he said 1998.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is an established game, but we've played through it, the game of real life.
Right.
And he hand makes these in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, box and everything, all by himself.
Yeah, and it's a cool, awesome game. So if you're watching this, thegameofreallife.com. Check it out.
So you came to this because you had a buddy in Canada.
Yes.
Old friend in Canada that wanted a copy of it. He'd heard about it, wanted a copy of it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't being shipped to Canada at the time. So he bought a couple copies for you to ship him one.
Yep.
And that's how we came to it.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Shout out to you, Dan Ludwig. Thank you for bringing this awesome game into our life and introducing us in a weird way to Chris Pender.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. He's a cool dude.
in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had a phone call with him tonight, and we've played through this game a few times. So what we're going to do next is we'll take you to that phone interview so you can learn more about Chris and his life and how he came up with this game.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun conversation. It was a good...
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely.
And you're going to throw in some pics of the game and how it goes and stuff?
Yep, we'll have some pics of the game. And then we're going to come back after that and read you the obituaries of a few of our characters that went through the game of life. And so we'll see you soon.
See you then.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks for sticking in.
Hello?
Hi, Chris.
Is this Kyle?
This is Kyle, and Charles is here as well.
Hey, Chris.
Speaker.
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
You as well.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being willing to chat with us a little bit. We really appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we're fans of the game. We played it together a few nights ago, and then it's funny. I actually purchased a couple copies of you maybe a couple weeks ago that were sent to Renton because a buddy of mine in Canada wanted the game, and so he bought me a copy and then had me mail it up to him in Ontario.
Yeah, the whole Canada thing is tough because the shipping gets so expensive.
Yeah, but you're international, so that's what's important.
Yes, very important.
Indeed.
So, how'd the game go? What characters did you have?
I've played it a few times. I've never made it to the end. I've died along the way. Indeed. But I've been finding that being poor with good health is helpful.
Interesting.
which is weird because it's hard to be poor with good health in real life.
Yeah, that's one of the glitches some people have talked to me about. Some people suggested the rich people should be able to buy health. I thought that was going to give them too much of an advantage in the game itself.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to make an executive decision.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I got aborted twice.
Oh.
In a row, 2 games. Do I have to go visit my local priest and confess?
I don't know about that, yeah.
And hey, Chris, just really quick, would you be all right if we recorded the conversation and put it on our little chintzy YouTube show?
Yeah, sure.
That's okay. Awesome, cool. I guess you're not supposed to do that without.
Checked out your show. I've checked out a couple episodes.
Hey, well we're winging it.
Episode 8 and episode 14.
Hey, well, thank you. We can call you one of our 4 fans.
One of our 4 viewers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Amongst the chosen.
Very cool. And yeah, we had a chance to read through your bio on the site, and it looks like you've lived a very interesting life.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, wild how it led to having a game company and making games.
Yeah, I think that's part of the underlying theory in the game. I think that life is a lot of just luck, and things more just happen to you. And I guess that was my experience in life, is life more happened to me. And I just kind of floated along and dealt with things as they came up.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, I found it interesting that you kind of broke your life down. I do this all the time too, in sort of decade eras, right? So in this, childhood era in this part of the world doing this, and then a whole nother era. Because when I look back at my life, I do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was interesting when I was writing that bio that it suddenly dawned on me that everything seems to change after 10 years.
Yeah. It seems like 10.
That's sort of how it happened.
That's the magic number or something, right? That decade thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I get bored too after about 10 years of something.
Seems to be a good line, a decade. Nice
So
round number.
did all of your experience end up in this game? I know you talked about getting mugged in New York, and there's some mugging going on.
Yep, that actually happened. That happened. Yeah, there's a lot of me in the game. But then there's a lot of just sort of, archetypal stuff like your first kiss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then other things I would ask people, like the one I really liked was the neighborhood kids get a rope and hang you. That happened to a coworker of mine. He grew up in Boston, in a tough section of Boston. And I think he was like the town bully. And so it was kind of one of those like kid justice. All the other kids like ganged up on him.
We're not taking it anymore.
They hung him.
Holy
Well,
moly!
he hung him actually with a chain, and then so he didn't die. And then his mother came home and found him and saved him.
Oh my goodness!
But, yeah, that was an interesting one. It's like, oh, that was going to the game.
Yeah.
Because it was something I was looking for, which is that kids could be cruel. You know, that's kind of a reality. You know, children can be really cruel. And then I hadn't found something really to illustrate it. And then he told me the story.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You know, the first time Charles and I played the game a couple nights ago together, I was kicking his butt right out of the gate and doing great, and then he became a shaman.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to stomp me.
Shaman's great. I didn't make it to the end, but F you, I was happy, dude. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the disabled shaman is almost impossible to beat.
Oh.
And
That
that's-
would be something, yeah.
They tend to be
In
happy.
the disabled space. where
Yeah,
you
I did
double
hit that.
smileys.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What year did you come up with this game?
Back in 1998.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah, like 20 years. I've just been plugging away at it.
Okay. And this has been kind of your full-time gig for that time, or has this kind of been a hobby that became a full-time gig, or is it a full-time gig?
Well, for the first 3 years, I had another day job. I was actually working with people with disabilities, and so I did both. And then after 3 years, I kind of took the plunge and just did it full time. And then it's just been off and on. You know, I get by, and then I have to get a second job, and then I have to get by, and I get a second job, and it's back and forth from that.
Yeah. Have you found this past year with the little pandemic that we've been having, has sales boomed, or is it kind of just the same, or?
No, well, it's awkward because my two revenue streams are I sell at street fairs.
Okay.
So I sell at the Eugene Saturday Market, the Portland Saturday Market, and they were shut down.
Yeah.
So that stopped. But my online sales actually increased about 25%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of did that. And then I'm getting all the pandemic relief money, so that's helping me through.
Nice.
The word of mouth must be pretty awesome, though. I mean, like, I was turned on by my friend who lives in a little town called Sioux Falls, Ontario. And he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I found this game, and you have a gaming company, so I want you to do this. Can you buy me a copy and mail it to Canada?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're-
word of mouth is pretty much my whole thing.
So you're big in Ontario, which is great.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's where it gets cold.
You know, and I sell a lot of games to Wisconsin. Wisconsin
Really?
people play a lot of games.
Huh.
I don't know exactly what it is, but they play games up there, man.
That's funny because our party game, Soup to Nuts, I think New York and Florida are our two biggest markets.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
Yeah. Not that we track every single one, but, you know. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, you definitely see patterns.
Yeah.
Well, I can attest. I grew up in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, in the north, the Great White North.
Oh, wow.
And we played a lot of games because that's what you do when it's negative 50
Yeah. Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
few months.
Yeah.
We're cooped up.
Any word from the Life game people? Is it a Parker Brothers, Hasbro? What is Life?
Oh, probably.
It's Hasbro now. Recently, it was Milton Bradley.
Right.
And
Okay.
then they got bought out by Hasbro.
Yeah.
The only thing I've had is that a woman showed up at my booth in Eugene, and she said she was a lawyer for Hasbro.
Oh,
But she
jeez.
was not there officially. Her friends had just told her about the game. And so she was checking it out. And I never heard from them.
Yeah.
I never got a cease and desist letter.
That's funny.
I'm assuming they must know about it because it's
Yeah.
been around for 20 years.
Right.
And I'm just so small that they just don't bother.
Yeah, it must not be worth their attorney fees or something.
Yeah. But a friend of mine made the game of, and picture this, if you look at the board, the game of Redneck Life.
Oh, I saw that on Amazon.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Now, she actually had her game manufactured because she already knew how to do the manufacturing in China. So she had her game manufactured in China and then distributed through a distributor. And they actually sued her.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
She got a little too big.
And the negotiations, she had to all they wanted her to get rid of was the game of.
Redneck life was okay.
That's what they were interested in.
Huh.
The game of.
Weird.
And so she had to change her game to just redneck life, and they were okay with that.
That is bizarre.
So, Chris,
Yeah,
do you
so it gets into all these goofy legalese things.
so do you do all the manufacturing yourself then?
Yeah, I'm still hand making it.
Okay.
Because I started, like I said, at Saturday Market, where everything has to be handmade.
Okay.
And I just started there, and I just sort of never got out of it, you know.
Okay. So you have
I
like
never had the money to make that leap.
Yeah.
To get it manufactured.
Yeah. Well, we do the same thing. I mean, we've got my garage set up as a little factory, you know, and we'll make a couple hundred copies at a time or whatever, and go from there. But
I was wondering how to get the games in a can. You get like a can.
Yeah, just like you would can, you know, salmon or something, right? Tomatoes, just a little can sealer. It's a little hand crank, little hand crank deal, and bam.
The packaging is the hardest part, right? Like I'd imagine.
I imagine trying to put this box together, and
it looks great.
You know, right from the beginning, the box was a pain in the butt, and I tried different ways of selling it without a box, but people really want a box.
Yeah.
And so, I just crank them out slowly. Just figured out how to do it, and it's not that hard. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
Are you pretty big board game fan yourself? Do you play a lot of games?
Not a whole lot. I played a lot when I was a kid. Like my friend and I used to play Axis and Allies all the time. I like that episode 8 where you showed the Axis and Allies.
Yeah, he's speaking our language.
Yeah, that's our jam.
But I used to, when I was in junior high, I used to go over to his house on Friday, and then we would start playing. We'd play the whole weekend. I'd just sleep over, and we would just play constantly.
Yeah.
Oh,
but lately, with the pandemic, my group, I used to play like once a week with some friends. We were playing Terra Mystica and Catan.
Oh, yeah. I love that Catan game.
Little Splendor. You ever played Splendor?
I haven't played that one.
I've heard of it. I've seen it, but I've not played it.
It's a pretty good game. There's a lot of variations, you know, a lot of strategy.
Nice. I gotta ask too, because I happen to work still. We don't make enough money for me to stop, and I work for that giant e-commerce company here in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised that you weren't on Amazon or any of the other like e-com sites. Is that on purpose, or is that just like a volume thing?
Yeah, it's a volume thing. I'm an old guy tech thing.
Well, and Amazon takes 15%.
I set up a website, and I've just been selling it that way. And way back when I started, I remember I was taking a class, and a woman had a book. She had written a book, and she had a website. So she's selling her book through her website, and then she got on Amazon for her book, and immediately her own personal website dropped on the Google search.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
And so that's what I'm always, in the back of my mind, I'm always worried about that. Is like, well, Amazon's going to come up first now on Google.
Yeah.
And I just haven't looked at it. It's on my list of 1,000 things to do.
That is true. I mean, Amazon dominates search results, and they take a referral fee of 15% of every sale. So a lot of 15, yeah. So the margins can be tricky to manage on Amazon.
That's the thing, is I have to jump in there and see if it works for me. I mean, if I get a whole bunch more sales, then it's worth it, obviously.
Yeah.
But if they're just going to take sales away from me, then it doesn't work. So, but I don't know. I'm so slow when it comes to tech. Well, you saw my website. It's like I've been trying to redo my website for a couple of years, literally, because I originally did it with HTML code.
Right.
And then I tried to learn CSS like 3 times, and I really just didn't get it. It's another language. And now it's moved on to, I just took a class with WordPress, so now I'm going to do WordPress.
Oh, yeah. What do we use? It's like
we use Squarespace. Squarespace is pretty nice.
Squarespace?
You don't have to code anything.
You have to code.
That's the thing. It's all changed again.
Yeah.
And my brain is so slow, and I'm like, oh man. But anyway, so that's my first tech
Oh man. So when you make the game board and stuff, like you just do that all in your house, or do you have like a little like? It seems like you would need some machines to do that, or maybe I just don't know.
Just the only major machine I have is a bending brake. I bought a bending brake, and that's the trick to the boxes is bending the side.
Yeah.
And so that was my big investment for like $500. But other than that, it's all hand tools. It's just scissors and paint, brushes.
Wow.
I'll tell you though, there's something so just cool about it being handmade in the U.S. and Eugene. I mean, we're Pacific Northwest folk. Like, there's a value to that too, right? Like you can't.
Yeah.
It's not being made in Wuhan.
Right. Yeah, and you've got probably a big rock polisher going on in the background, right?
When I was originally started the game, I was going to polish my own rocks.
Okay.
Because there's a certain mentality, I think, to like Saturday market people. Like whenever I need something in my house or anywhere, the first thing I think of is, can I make it?
Right.
And the same thing, I was thinking about polishing the rocks. And I remember my first year, it was like December 1st. And I had to, I was going to start selling the next weekend. So I went to the rock shop, and I was looking at the pamphlet on how to polish rocks. And they're like, make a slurry, put the rocks in there, and then run it for 6 weeks. I was like, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
I need these tomorrow. So
It is a process.
Rocks, and that was it,
It sounds like that would be like audio pollution too if you just had a bunch of rocks
tumbling
around.
My dad used to do that. He used to polish a rock, so I remember.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, but I got a nice big apartment, and so I've got a couple of work tables set up. One for the boards, one for the boxes, and then it's a pretty good setup for what I do.
Yeah. Random question, and this is a total aside, but I have a good old friend that lives in Eugene and makes glass. Usually, he mostly makes glass pipes. But just random, if you know a guy named Mike O'Connor, does that name ring any bells?
Mike O'Connor. No.
Okay, well, figured I'd shoot. I know Eugene's not teeny tiny, but I thought I'd ask.
He might be a vendor at Saturday Market, but I don't get around to the other booths that much. We've got a couple of glass blowers there.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Chris, any other games that you're thinking about making, or is this this is your baby
I've got a couple ideas that I'm just still working on, but again, it becomes a time thing.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating about the hand making is like I actually really enjoy it. I mean, it is a craft, so there's really something fun about put on some music and just make some games, and but then now it's taking too much time. So I really want to get it manufactured so that it frees up my time so that I can make other games.
Yeah.
So I've got about 3 ideas, but it's like, I made one game, and you really have to get in there. You got to get it onto a prototype and test it and to see where the flaws are.
Right.
Yeah.
I made a game. My second game was called Occupy versus the 1%. And it really bombed. People either hated the Occupy or they hated 1%. So they just hated the game. They absolutely hated the game. But I loved it. It's like your own child. It's like, oh, I love it.
Yeah. We feel that way about some of our questions in our game. People are like, "What in the hell is this?" And we're like, "We thought it was funny."
Could you imagine they're doing like QAnon versus Antifa? There's something.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Start writing it. Come on, Kyle.
That's the thing. I think you can make a board game about anything.
Yeah.
You just got to get in there and work out the details.
Right.
What happened.
Indeed. And the community is like good. Like it's been fun seeing people's reactions to our games. I'm sure you love seeing the reactions to yours, and like the board game community is good people. So far, at least in my life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's kept me going is like at Saturday Market, again, my whole business mentality is based on Saturday Market. And what I find is that, the board game people are a very small but loyal group of people.
Yeah.
So if they see a new board game, they're really interested. They're going to check it out. They're going to understand it, and good chance they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
But like at Saturday Market, I figure like one out of 10 people is even interested in the game, and then 1 out of 10 of those I can sell to. But like something like jewelry or T-shirts, anybody will buy that. That's why they're so successful, at street fairs.
Yeah, we do a lot of Comic-Con type stuff up here, and that's good. I mean, it's great for us because we're pop culture guys too. But just getting out and meeting people and seeing their reaction, we'll let them see some of the sample questions and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I feel you on the 1 out of 10 are interested, and 1 out of 10 of those will actually spend the money. So
right, yeah.
But when you sell to a stormtrooper, it's worth double.
Or Imperial Guard or whatever that lady was. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really satisfying when an absolute stranger, could be looking at your stuff and say, "Oh, this is great,"
Yeah.
That you really like it, enjoy it.
Definitely. Well, for like our show and our attempt at social media, should we like point people to your website, Chris? What would be the best bet?
Yeah, that's definitely the best. GameOfRealLife.com.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we should probably wrap it up. We gotta film our show tonight.
I got one more question.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Chris, you mentioned your next possible career is as a comedian. How's that going?
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I made that website 8 or 10 years ago with HTML code, and so I took classes. I took community college, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And I just really wasn't that funny.
Okay.
To be quite honest. I mean, you could see it in the classroom. It's just some people are just funny.
Yeah.
And they can say almost anything.
Yeah.
And there's an element to comedy, like having like Larry the Cable Guy. I remember one of the other comedians talking about him, is that he can get away with so much more because he's such a funny little character that he can get away with saying almost anything.
Yeah.
Whereas I look like a school teacher, so, I can't get away with a whole lot. And then my comedy would always sort of drift towards politics, and politics is really tricky. It's got to be really funny, or you're going to piss off half the audience. But my comedy would drift that way. There was nothing I could do about it. So I really gave it a shot, but I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. I suppose it's easy for anybody to get up on stage and tell a joke, but to go up there and actually entertain people is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely went for it. That's what I always like doing, is really going for it.
Nice.
So I took this class 4 times, and got up in front of people a lot, and really got a feel for what I want to do, what they want. You end up performing in bars, and it's a bunch of sex jokes basically.
Yeah.
Funny, but it's I don't want to do sex jokes all night, and so I wasn't comfortable with that either. So.
Right on.
Well, your game's
I definitely went
hilarious.
for it.
You got the comedy on a board right. That's for sure. That is fantastic.
Yeah. I know, that's what my biggest compliment I was telling somebody was just that I have something that makes people laugh.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
And that promotes sex, which is good. The sex
And
is
drugs.
great.
And drug use.
Well, some drugs. Some drugs, not so much.
Yeah, I always wondered if the game helped with people's sex lives, You're kind of playing this role-playing thing,
Yeah.
And did you see in the sex of the women rolling the 3?
I don't remember. What was the...
I remember the postmenopausal.
On the sex chart, if you're female and you roll a 3, you get 6 smiley faces.
That's right. And for guys, it's 3, but you can get on a 1 through a 4. You just get
just get a little happy.
Right, the guys are more consistent. It's it's always fun.
It's easy for them.
Women,
Yeah.
it's not always great, but when it is great, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He finally found the spot.
Right, exactly. And I checked with women, and they were like, "Yeah, that's about right."
You accurately captured the difference of the sexes
Nice.
in sex.
I have to do my research, you know. Gotta do your research.
That's
Indeed.
it.
Indeed.
Well, Chris, man, it's been great talking to you. We love the game. We love meeting you. We kind of feel like, kindred soul.
Yeah, and we'd love to stay in touch. Love to, as COVID unfolds, if you're ever up in the Seattle area, hit us up, and we'd love to do the same if we're down in Eugene.
Yeah, definitely stop in. We'll play some games.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds good. Enjoy the evening, and thank you for the time, Chris.
All right.
All right. Talk to you.
Catch you later.
Bye. Welcome back. I just thought I'd jump in.
Yeah, you're not going to get to do your crazy eights tonight.
No. But we have
okay,
a really good topic for you next week, or 2 weeks from now. Crazy 8 things wrong with society. Yeah, I know you're on the edge of your seat. But anyway, that was a fun conversation with Chris. I'm glad that we were able to get it done.
Yeah. Seems like a down-to-earth guy who's had a pretty good life and enjoyed things.
Yeah.
Enough to sit down and create a game.
Yeah, super good attitude. So in the game of real life, you start and you have to flip to be a man or a woman. And then you have to roll to be rich, poor, or middle class. And then you have to roll for your health.
Yes.
And then you go through a really interesting set of situations. And as you you try to get the most happiness before you die. And whoever gets the most happiness wins.
Yeah, and he did a pretty good job of including just all kinds of stuff that you could face during your life. And some of them are just hilarious and silly. But some of them are, you might get stuck trying out a drug.
Yeah.
Right? Like marijuana. And you might get addicted to it.
Yep.
You might have that first sexual encounter and get somebody pregnant.
It might happen. And then you have to make choices. And if you're a man, the choices are run away or stay. And if you're a woman, the choices are keep it or don't.
Yeah.
And if you keep it, you have to go to the birth room. Anyway, so we played through this game a few times, and we have a few obituaries of characters that we played.
I do. We do.
I got 2 here. You got a couple?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few.
You got a few? Can I start? Start?
Please do.
All right. So this is the story of Manifry, who is a male, and he is an upper-class orphan. He loves sugar. However, he was hanged by the neighborhood kids. Then he found God and got addicted to coffee and cocaine. But he overcame those addictions and managed to climb Mount Everest later in life, though it was lonely all by himself. Even though he inherited his dad's business, he used the money to clone himself. However, after cloning himself, he died by being eaten by his fellow brothers in a Donner Party type situation.
Because that could happen.
That could happen. Poor Manifry.
That's nuts.
He died with 21 happiness.
That's nuts.
Yes.
I played one night with the wife, and I flipped, got male, and I rolled, and I got rich. So I said, I named my guy Joe.
Joe the rich man.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because I was excited. I was going to be rich. And then, if you're on the start position and you roll a 1, the first space is aborted. So my parents apparently aborted me, and I had to start over. I got male again, so I named him Joe 2.
Joe 2.
Did not get aborted this time, but ended up poor. So life kind of sucked to start with. So I'm poor.
Damn.
But my parents liked me.
That's important.
I'm ugly. But I had good sexy time.
Hey, that's right.
Got some extra time, and I chose to get some extra health.
All right.
And then I got her pregnant. And I ran away.
The sexy time run away.
No marriage for me. I did get a near-death card.
Oh, you did?
And then I got pepper sprayed.
Oh, jeez.
I got blue balls.
That's a rough life.
Had an industrial accident.
Oh, God.
But a truck missed me, so that was good.
Oh, you got to look on the bright side.
Got some more extra time, and I chose health because I was so low.
Industrial accidents and blue balls will do that to you.
And then the stock market crashed.
Oh, God.
But it affected everybody but me.
Because you're poor.
Because I'm poor.
You don't have any stocks.
I didn't have any stocks. During my midlife crisis, I worked on a shrimp boat for a year, which was kind of nice. Got
Forrest
lots of
Gump.
happy.
Forrest Gump style. Yeah.
But then I got mugged. But it's okay because I'm poor. So it didn't really
I
affect
took your 25 cents.
I had some job stress. I got the love, live loud. So I got some extra health that way.
Nice. That's important.
Yeah, so what else happened to me? I did get diseased.
You lived into old age, it sounds like.
I did. I ended up in the black hole.
Oh.
And that was no fun.
The black hole.
The black hole.
Black hole nursing home.
And it spins you around until you die. And that's where I died. But I ended up pretty happy, man. I had 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 37.
That's really
37
good.
happies, man.
That's really good.
So it was pretty good. I died
It's a good,
poor.
happy life.
But
You had some interesting experiences. You got to be on a shrimp boat.
I got to be on a shrimp boat.
That's pretty exciting.
Had some good sexy time, even though I was ugly.
Yeah.
So not too bad, man.
That works. That's, I'd be happy with that
Not
life.
too bad.
The next story that we bring to you is a man named Smith, who is also an orphan and ugly, though he was born rich. Very high class, ugly orphan. And Smith said no to tobacco and alcohol. He lived a straight edge life, and sex was amazing. He had good loving times too. He was actually asked to be married by a woman, and said no. The single life is for me. Yeah. And he grew up to look pretty good as he got older. He looked better. Though, also, he was very lonely. He tried to do a porn film, but got diseased. And then he died in 9/11.
That happens.
Yeah. He died with 10 happiness points.
10. It's not too happy, man.
No.
Well, this one was one from you and I played.
Ah.
It's a man named Sam.
Sam?
He was poor.
Poor Sam.
But his parents fed him organic. So I don't know. They must have been growing their own food in the backyard or something.
Yeah.
Got my ass kicked when I was a young kid. But I did get laid. And became the career of all careers, a shaman. Got married, had great honeymoon sex throughout my life. So super sex.
Shamans are known to be
Perfect.
good lovers.
Good lovers.
That's what I hear.
Had one kid. Kids are hard. In fact, kids suck. But I did a porno too.
Oh.
Earned like $100.
Open relationship shaman style. Well, maybe it was your wife.
Maybe
we don't know.
okay.
You'll never tell us, will you?
Watched too much TV.
Oh.
Lost some health because of that. Then got hit by a truck.
Probably Tony Robbins, huh?
Let me tell you, war sucks. I don't remember what happened, but war sucks.
Oh.
And then I saw my mom get arrested on the TV show Cops.
God. That must have been tough.
But my midlife crisis, I bought a motorcycle, which made me happy. And this guy also worked on a shrimping boat.
Man.
So that was pretty cool.
Talk about shrimp.
Yeah. And then an amazing thing happened. I landed on the Super Shaman Payday, which was 20, if you can see that, happy points.
Super Shaman Payday.
Super Shaman Payday.
You only get that if you're a shaman.
That's true.
And you
but then I
landed
landed on the Lonely.
Oh.
And I needed a transplant. And if I didn't get the transplant, I would be dead in 3 moves. And to get the transplant, another player had to die.
Yes.
And the other player didn't die, so I had 3 moves to try to make it to the end. I got addicted to pharmaceuticals, which
just living it up
faster. But in true shaman form, I died during sexual relations.
Dude, that's a life. How many happies is that?
58.
That's got to be a record.
58. No. The wife actually played around, and she got to the end and died with 1,000,000 happies. I don't remember.
Oh my God.
I don't see hers, but she got to the white light. Is that what it's called?
the very last space.
The very last space.
The
and
white
she just
light.
kept rolling and got happy after happy after happy.
Is she so I've played this game with my girlfriend probably 5 or 6 times, and nobody's ever made it to the end.
Okay.
Is your wife?
This was her second time playing.
But that's the one time out of all the playthroughs that either you or I have done that somebody's made it to that space.
I guess so.
It's hard to make it to the
It's not
end.
easy to make it to the end, man.
Good Lord.
Not in the game of real life. So, Chris, man, very good job.
Thank you, Chris.
Very fun game.
We're gonna pump your website on the comments, so go check it out. GameOfRealLife.com. Thanks for talking with us tonight.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Best of luck.
Yeah. And we'll be back in a couple weeks, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
So, with that, my name's Kyle.
I'm not.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. I'm gonna play drums again soon, I promise.